The next practice or limb of Buddha's Eightfold Path is right diligence. Right diligence or samyak pradhana, right or right effort, is the kind of energy that helps us realize the noble Eightfold Path. If we are diligent for possessions, sex, or food, that is wrong diligence. If we work round the clock for profit or fame or to run away from our suffering, that is wrong diligence also. From outside, it may appear that we are diligent, but it is not right diligence. The same can be true of our meditation practice. We may appear diligent in our practice, but if it takes us farther from reality or from those we love, it is wrong diligence. When we practice sitting and walking meditation in ways that cause our body and mind to suffer, our effort is not right diligence and is not based on right view. Our practice should be intelligent, based on right understanding of the teaching. It is not because we practice hard that we can say that we are practicing right diligence. There was a monk in Tang dynasty China who was practicing sitting meditation very hard day and night. He thought he was practicing harder than anyone else, and he was very proud of this. He sat like a rock day and night, but his suffering was not transformed. One day a teacher asked him, "Why are you sitting so hard?" And the monk replied, "To become a Buddha." The teacher picked up a tile and began polishing it. And the monk asked, "Teacher, what are you doing?" His master replied, "I am making a mirror." The monk asked, "How can you make a tile into a mirror?" And his teacher replied, "How can you become a Buddha by sitting?" The four practices usually associated with right diligence are number one, preventing unwholesome seeds in our store consciousness that have not yet arisen from arising. Number two, helping the unwholesome seeds that have already arisen to return to our store unconscious to our store consciousness. Number three, finding ways to water the wholesome seeds in our store consciousness that have not yet arisen and asking our friends to do the same. Number four, nourishing the wholesome seeds that have already arisen so that they will stay present in our mind consciousness and grow stronger. This is called the fourfold right diligence. Unwholesome means not conducive to liberation or the path. In our store consciousness, there are many seeds that are not beneficial for our transformation. And if those seeds are watered, they will grow stronger. When greed, hatred, ignorance, and wrong views arise, if we embrace them with right mindfulness, sooner or later they will lose their strength and return to our store consciousness. When wholesome seeds have not yet arisen, we can water them and help them come into our conscious mind. These seeds of happiness, love, loyalty, and reconciliation need watering every day. The fourfold right diligence is nourished by joy and interest. If your practice does not bring you joy, you are not practicing correctly. The practice of the way is the same. The Buddha said, "Maintain your health, be joyful, do not force yourself to do things you cannot do." We need to know our physical and physiological, psychological limits. We should not force ourselves to ascetic practices or lose ourselves in sensual pleasures. The teachings of the seven factors of awakening are also part of the practice of right diligence. Joy is a factor of awakening. When I wanted to become, so this is one of the example. Suffering can propel us to practice. When we are anxious or sad and see that these practices bring us relief, we will want to continue. It takes energy to look into suffering and to see what has brought about that suffering. It is not always necessary for us to deal directly with our suffering. Sometimes we can just allow it to lie dormant in our store consciousness, and we use the opportunity to touch the suffering, uh, touch the refreshing and healing elements within us and around us with our mindfulness. With right view, we see the way we need to go, and our seeing gives us faith and energy. If we feel better after practicing walking meditation for an hour, we will have the determination to continue the practice. The practice of mindful living, should be joyful and pleasant. If you breathe in and out and feel joy and peace, that is right diligence. Work together with a teacher and with a friend to transform your suffering into compassion, peace, and understanding, and do it with joy and ease. That is right diligence.